the reality here is, guys, once you start injecting more meaning and fun into your life, watch how that affects every other area.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, Tim, The Powerful Man Matthews. Tim, what's going on, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm just wondering, does the crowd still cheer after you introduce me? I listened to a few episodes and the crowd was cheering.
Yep. Well, I don't know. I'm sure if you ask Billy, he might slip you in a cheer here and there. But you never know. You gotta ask Billy and be nice to him. He is our editor, and Billy is a stud. So.
Ooh, nice.
He is the man. He's the man. I love Billy. Been working with him for a long time, and he always steps up and produces amazing material. So, Billy, thank you.
Yeah, so Billy, thank you, and just put some cheers in.
So, Tim, you had something that you wanted to bring up. What is it?
Yeah, cool. So obviously we're going to keep this short and sweet in this episode. So one of the common complaints that we experience from the men is that their life lacks meaning. The life has become very serious. Everything has become about work, and they end up feeling they end up feeling very empty. And with that emptiness often comes a feeling of isolation and feeling lost, because by this point they have, gone after everything they thought was going to give them meaning in their life and make them happy, i.e. money, homes, holidays, cars, watches, women, you name it. And they've got it all. So the trouble is, they then feel worse than they did before they had any of it, because they thought that all of those things were going to make them happy. And then they don't, typified by the Alpha Reset lately, where we took the guys outside to jump in puddles and they absolutely loved it. At first, one of the guys was like, "I'm wearing my best white trainers. Get over it. Get outside." So I want to give you guys an exercise you can do right now. So what I'd like you to do is take 45 to 60 minutes, and I'd like you to come up with a list of ideally 100 things that give your life meaning. Now, these can be super simple things like watching the sunset, going for a walk in the woods, being by the sea, tickling your wife, having sex, being in the mountains, whatever it is. But just take inventory and stick with it for 45 to 60 minutes, because you might find that you're struggling, but it's usually, you'll get the first 10, 20, 30 down. They'll fly out. They'll be easy. And then you're probably going to hit a bit of a sticking point. Stick with it at that juncture. Do not stop. Keep asking yourself the question. And what you'll find is, usually after a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, the floodgates will open again. And then you'll hit another roadblock. So stay with it. This is why we are saying stick with it for 45 to 60 minutes. Ideally, you'd have a list of 100 by the end of it. But if you don't, then as long as you've stuck to the time and you've really stayed focused with this, obviously, don't be on social media and all the rest of it. Stick with it. Then you should have a good list anyway. Now, what I want you to do from here is go across to your calendar. I don't know if you guys call it calendar in the US. Do you call it a calendar, Doug? What do you call it?
We call it a calendar. The difference when you guys use diary. We don't use diary.
Yeah, cool. So like Google Calendar or iCal, whatever, go to there. And I want you to cross-reference how many of the things you've written down do you actually have in your diary, in your schedule, calendar. Does your calendar reflect many of these things? And this isn't about doing more things. We talk a lot about do less and be more. That's one of the ways that the guys experience such great results. And these things you've written down that give your life meaning, I want you to go through and highlight the ones that are really juicy, the ones that really set you on fire. And I imagine some of those things that really set you on fire are going to be things that you can just do for free. Things that require very little investment, just some planning. And again, I want you to look at your calendar and just see, I've actually given myself permission or any time or allocate any space to do these things. And that's going to give you some great feedback about where you're actually spending your time and why, if you feel like your life has become about all work and no play and become quite dull and mundane, then this is going to be great feedback as to why and what you can do to change it.
Hey, sorry to interrupt the show, but I wanted to ask you a question. Do you ever feel like something's just missing? Like there's something more out there and you just can't put your finger on it? I totally get it. Go over right now to thepowerfulman.com/freedom to discover the system that other businessmen just like you are using. We've included 10 case studies, 10 men just like you who have found the solution and have found their way on their path. And we want to share that with you. Go over to thepowerfulman.com/freedom right away. Now let's get back to the show.
And, we speak a lot, we speak with the men in the Brotherhood a lot about being a lot more childlike, not childish, but being childlike, having that reckless fun where there's no agenda, there's no outcome. You're just getting lost in something because you love to do it. It's not necessarily about learning something new where, you focus on achieving something. The difference between achievement versus fulfillment is that one's an action and one's a state. One's an experience. So this is about you guys injecting a lot more meaning into your life. And Doug, you say it brilliantly when you say, show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. And the reality here is, guys, once you start injecting more meaning and fun into your life, watch how that affects every other area. The guys in the program, when they do this, usually what happens is their business grows a lot faster and a lot easier with them working less. Usually their marriages take on a deeper level of connection and intimacy and sex, obviously, because they're happier. They have more energy. They have more presence. They're not coming home on an evening and, like a volcano ready to erupt. They walk through the door and the wife's looking at the face like, ooh, which version are we going to get tonight? They don't, they're in a completely different space. So, guys, do this. Please, I implore you to do this. If you are wanting more meaning in your life, this is key.
Oh, such a great exercise. I'm actually going to do this as well. I've actually never done it this way, Tim. So love the input. Gentlemen, bonus points. If you go over to the Facebook group, it is a free group. And if you're not a member, you already should be. If you're on Facebook, go over there and post your results. There's nothing wrong with liberating or poaching a few ideas off the other men. I know for me, Tim, there was a point I remember, had to be about 8 years ago or so, where I had a free weekend to go do something fun, and but to do it by myself. And I was like, crap, I don't know what to do. I remember that feeling going, wow, I'm just so used to working or hanging out with my partner or what have you at the time. So this is going to be a fun exercise. It's going to be interesting to get to that number. So I'll be doing this as well. Gentlemen, go over to the Facebook group and post. Get bonus points, like I said. Look at the other men's ideas, not from a place of judgment, but maybe you need some other ideas. Until you mentioned it to me a couple of weeks ago, Tim, probably jumping in puddles wouldn't have ended on my list. Since then, I've done it with my son, and it is a blast. So
oh, wow. Yeah, it's so much fun. And, you can even do this list with your wife. She could sit there, and Erin could write down 100. You could write down 100.
Well, that's a totally different list. But yeah, we definitely can. I like where this is going, my friend. I like where this is going.
Yeah, there you go.
Gentlemen, that's a wrap for us. A short episode, but a great exercise to do. And as always, in the moment of insight, take massive action. That's it for us at The Powerful Man for this episode, and we will see you next time. Make it a great day.